I think I almost added so many characters that the game wanted to break itself, but at the end we got it. We got there. So this is ranking characters that I remember from my childhood, basically, or kind of my favorite characters because I didn't grab like all of the characters from each individual movie or show or whatever. I kind of just grabbed some that I could think, oh God, now I'm thinking of more. Oh no, there's more that I definitely had to add. Because I have to add like Doctor Who and stuff. Oh boy. Okay, I'll do this and then I'll add some more. Where are we starting off? The Flintstones. So I started off with the Flintstones. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't go out of my way to add every individual character from the Flintstones because if I'm honest, it's been so long since I watched it that I don't really remember what each character was like. I just remember generally liking the Flintstones. I thought it was funny. It's an all around A tier, I guess. Yeah. Let's not jump to S tier just yet, you know? Let's just keep it, because I could at the end of the day put my entire childhood on an S tier because I had some great characters, some great role models and whatnot to. Oh my God, Matilda! I have to put Matilda on here. The '90s movie. Fred. I just don't remember a lot about you, man. I don't know. You just kind of. I feel like there wasn't anything. Either I didn't like him enough to notice him, or there wasn't anything really standoutish about him, if that makes sense. Velma. Velma. I also don't remember a ton about Velma. But with her, how smart she was, like, she absolutely held the team, like, kept them alive and stuff. I don't know, I'm so tempted to do a thing where I put like Shaggy and Scooby on the same level because I'm like, they're funny, I love them, but I feel like that's such a like, I don't know. I might be overthinking it a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this a little bit. I don't know where to put you guys. I might adjust it as I go. You know, maybe I'll adjust it as I go. Baymax, dude. Big Hero 6. All around, that's the movie. Big Hero 6 was the first time, that movie was the first time I ever heard Fall Out Boy. So all around, I got nothing bad to say about that. Baymax took care of everybody. It's a great movie. Once again, I only put Baymax on here. I didn't even put any of the other characters on here. Because it's kind of, I don't really, I don't know, I didn't really get attached to any of the characters specifically. I just remember that movie being really important in my childhood. And again, like I said, Fall Out Boy. But a pretty big part of my life at this point. So, Kevin McAllister. It's going to be the first S tier. He's just going right up there. Okay, so these next characters are, and I don't know where Derek went, but I thought, oh, he's all the way down there. Why is Derek down there? So these next characters are from the 90s movie The Swan Princess. Not the Barbie one, but that is on here. The 90s movie The Swan Princess. This guy, I gotta put him somewhere up here. I'm like teetering on S tier for him because this guy, so what I love about him is, so let me get Derek up here. Derek, be with your people, man. So Derek is the absolute dork who, in the movie, when Odette, Derek's like, let's get married, and Odette's like, wait, why? And Derek's like, what do you mean? You're beautiful. And Odette's like, thank you. But what else? And Derek says, what else? What else is there? Like a total dork. And this guy, he just had so many funny lines. I forget his name. But he was like, what else is there? You should write a book. How to offend women in 5 syllables or less. What else is there? There was a lot of really funny characters in this movie that just, like even the Queen, she was really funny. She just had a lot of, I don't even know how to describe it. There was just so much humor brought to that movie by those characters. And I loved Odette, and Derek ended up being okay. But these characters, like the characters who added more comedy effects, just, I don't know. They have a slightly higher ranking for me. Next we have the Ninjago characters, starting with Zane. Ooh. I don't know. I don't remember a lot about Zane. I know he had like a really cool storyline and stuff. Like I remember, I don't know. He's just kind of in the middle for me. I don't like even the fact that Fred's down here. It's not that I disliked Fred at all. I'm just thinking as a character, like I just don't remember there being a lot to Fred. So he's kind of just there, if that makes sense. Like I don't dislike any of these characters. I'm just kind of going with it. We're just kind of making a tier list. It's not that any of these are like better than the other or that I like, I'm just, I don't know. Kai. I always really liked Kai. Whoa, where are we going? I don't know. I feel like he's up here a little bit. He was always fiery. I kind of felt like I related to him. He kind of was a bit angry towards the beginning, if I remember correctly. Once again, it's been a very long time since I've seen this show. I mean, a very long time. Especially since I've seen the like earlier seasons, like the earliest ones that were coming out a long time ago. But I remember liking him quite a bit. And then Cole. I almost want to put Cole like in between Zane and Kai. I don't really know what to do with Cole. He was cool. Nia, dude, she was a freaking samurai before she was a freaking samurai. Nobody knew it. She was Kai's sister, and she was the freaking samurai. Lloyd, I'm gonna be honest with you. Lloyd is one of the earliest fictional character crushes I can remember having. And frankly, he still is. Rosetta from, weren't there more Ninjago characters? Yeah, sorry. These are getting all twisted up out of order. Yeah, because Jay, dude. I gotta put Jay on here. Okay, there's Jay. Are there any others? Okay. Jay. Whoops. Hang on, we lost the recording. Jay. I feel like he could go on the same level as these guys, but also I like him with Nia. I did like how that developed. And then this character, I actually don't even remember the name of because it's been so long. But I remember when she came in, and I don't remember like there being a ton about her, but I really loved that Zane had a kind of love interest. I really appreciated that. Like I really appreciated her as a character, as Zane's love interest, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's been a long time since a lot of these things. So you gotta cut me some slack here, man. There's a lot of things I don't remember. Next we have the like Tinkerbell girls. Tinkerbell, all around great gal. She was very independent. She figured things out. She was smart. She was a tinkerer. Yeah. What was this girl's name? Silver Mist. Silver Mist? Is that even right? I liked her. This is again one of those things where the other fairies, I don't remember anything like specific about them. Like I think I liked Tinkerbell the best. Like Rosetta, I don't know. I think if I had to go by like order of who my favorites were when I was a kid, it probably about goes like this. Like Tinkerbell I liked best, Silver Mist I liked. I don't even know why I liked Silver Mist. This girl, Periwinkle. Ooh, I don't know. Periwinkle might be an S tier. This next chick, I do not remember the name of. I don't remember the Pirate Fairy. I don't even barely remember what movie she was in. I don't know anything about her. But she's super hot, so she's going in S tier. This... I don't know. Listen. I don't know. There's just something about her. I really like her. I don't know why. I don't remember anything about her. She just has to go in S tier, man. I can't. I got no other thing for it. Next character is Karen from Frosty the Snowman. I don't know why Karen was such a standout character to me. I cannot explain this to save my life. But for some reason, I remember when I was a kid really liking Karen. And I don't know why. Like, there's nothing in specific. I honestly can't tell you. There's nothing that, like, stands out about her. There was nothing specific that I can honestly be like, oh, I loved that she did this, or, I don't know. I just really liked her as a character when I was a kid, and I can't tell you why. Elmo. He was a character in my childhood, pretty prominent one. Where does Elmo go on a ranking next to these other characters? I mean, hey, the guy taught me how to go potty, you know? Pretty important. Next to all these other characters who taught me great moral things like being brave and doing the right thing, we have Elmo, the puppet who taught me about the potty and probably other things, but I, for some reason, only remember that. I don't know where to put you, man. I don't know where to put you. I gotta make a... Hang on. Can I make another one? Can I just make like a miscellaneous? Oh God, thank you. I need a miscellaneous. Misc. Is that how do I do this? How do I like enter? Hitting enter isn't doing anything, so I'm just gonna assume that's right. Misc. You're going in Misc. Okay, so the next character is Hermie from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and I'm going to tell you the story of why he's on this list. Hermie is on this list because when I was a kid, I had a huge crush on Hermie. The next character is, these are two characters from Dora, believe it or not. Dora is not even on this list because I couldn't give a flying flip about Dora. But we have, this character is Mariana. I did not have to Google her name. For some reason, this chick, I actually remembered her name. Mariana the Mermaid from like Dora's Mermaid Adventure or something. She's a pretty mermaid who there was like garbage in their city or whatever, and Dora and Monkey had to save her. But she was a mermaid, which I love mermaids. Ooh, I should add H2O, just add water characters to this. She, at the end of the movie, she gives Dora a necklace where Dora can turn into a mermaid at any time, and I always wanted that. And she's going up here. This next character is the Snow Princess from Dora, who I always thought was gorgeous. You know, it's just now occurring to me that I think this list is slowly becoming me slowly realizing as a kid that I like girls. There's so many, like, unregistered, like, early on girl crushes in this list. No, but she was just a great character, I thought. The Snow Princess. I mean, if I'm honest, maybe I really did just think she was really pretty. But I don't know. Anna from Frozen. I gotta tell you, I never thought much of Anna. It's not that I disliked her. God, I'm so ready for people to throw spears at me for this video. Again, there's nobody on this list that I genuinely disliked, though. Like, this is literally characters of my childhood that I liked. Or that I, like, at least remember, you know? God, this is just horrifying. I'm so sorry. Oh, God. Anna, I just gotta put you, like, here, honestly. I just didn't... Elsa. I really liked Elsa. I just liked that she was this free-spirited, independent character. I felt like I was one of the only people who understood Elsa when I was a kid, because I was a kid. And like I remember actually people in my family being like, Elsa's mean. And I like remember defending Elsa to the death and being like, no, she had these powers. She had to protect her sister. Like, upon reflection, I'm like, yeah, she like was kind of mean maybe at times, but like she had a reason. She was trying to protect people, and I like understood that immediately upon, I don't know. I just really appreciated that, a lot of things about her when I was a kid. Merida. S tier, always. Pocahontas. I liked Pocahontas when I was a kid. I liked the movie. I liked the character. I liked the second one. I can't speak to the historical accuracy and whatnot. I can't speak to that. Disney, you'll have to confer with Disney for that one. But as a movie, as characters, Yeah, all right. Well, maybe more down here. Just because, like, I know I liked Mulan. Mulan's definitely up there with, yeah, right there with Elsa, I'd say. Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty was my favorite Disney princess when I was a kid. But, like, of the classics, like, this was before I knew about Mulan and Elsa. But I have to put her up there. Because I remember my mom even went out of her way to do a thing where I got mailed something from, like, the Sleeping Beauty who was at Disneyland or Disney World, where it was like she sent me something. Because even my mom knew Sleeping Beauty was my favorite. So I had to put her up there. Snow White. I just don't have a lot to say about you. I don't know why. It's great. I love the movie. I watched it a lot as a kid. I don't have a lot to say. Belle. Ooh, you know what? I should really put Emma Watson's Belle on here because I wonder how different that would be. Belle. I'd say right up there with Elsa, Mulan, Aurora. Yeah. Jasmine. Also good, but I don't think... I might have liked Aladdin a little bit better just because he had more like... Or the genie, of course, Robin Williams. The humor. I liked how funny that movie was. Like, there wasn't a ton of, like... It's not Jasmine's fault. It's just, like, there wasn't a lot to see of Jasmine, whereas, like, Aladdin and the genie, of course. Oh, well, you remember his songs. You remember, there was just a lot more memorable of other characters, if that makes sense. Cinderella. I did like Cinderella. I even liked the sequels. There was like a Cinderella 2, there was a Cinderella 3, there was one about one of the stepsisters where she like gets a man and he's like a baker and it's really sweet. I liked the Cinderella movies. I don't know that they weren't like a part of my childhood like favorites as much as the others in A tier were though, so I feel like I have to put them down here. But then maybe I need to like... You know what? I might need to do a little bit of adjustment. Okay. Put you down here, you down here, you down here. Does that look more right for me? That might be more accurate for me. I gotta put you down here. I had a crush on you, man, but I didn't know anything about you. You didn't have that much of an impact. You were kind of just there. I guess the same maybe goes for them. I hate to say that about the Flintstones, though. I hate to. Okay. I said earlier myself, I didn't even really know. You're just pretty. I don't know why I liked Periwinkle so much, but I did. Girl Meets World, that's another one to add to this. Periwinkle. I liked Periwinkle. Yeah, I don't think I need to change that. I think this is good. Ariel. I liked her a lot. I liked the sequel, too, the one with Melody, when I was a kid. I mean, now if I watched all of these, like, I might have more, like, critiques and whatnot, but, like, when I was a kid, just speaking from, like, the nostalgia and from what I remember, this is what I like, Just speaking out of the nostalgia. Tiana was great. I liked Tiana. And now we're getting into the Winx characters, and I'm actually going to start on the right side. Bloom, I just gotta put her, she was my favorite. Bloom, Fairy of the Dragon Flame. I loved Bloom. She's gotta go right up there, man. Whoops. Flora. I know a lot of people like Flora. I like Flora. She wasn't like one of my favorites. I feel like I'm gonna get like rocks thrown at me if I put her below an A. Just for me personally, okay? This is about me personally. Just the characters that I like resonate with more, not resonate with more, but that I connected with more, if that even makes sense. So again, this isn't about like who's better than the others. So don't throw stones at me. I'm not saying that like Flora's worse than the others, just that in terms of which characters like connected with me the most, she was a little more down here, I have to say. Stella. I did really like Stella. I don't know why. Stella kind of goes up here a little bit more. Tecna's kind of on the same with Flora. She was super cool. I liked her. There was nothing wrong with her. I liked her. I did. just speaking on terms of like how much I really connected to like with the character or felt like attached to the character. Yeah. Aisha slash Lila. I did really like actually, you know what? I did really like Musa. Musa was A tier. Aisha slash Lila, whatever her name was. Oops. No, she goes here in B tier. She's kind of on the same floor with Flora and Tecna to me. I loved Winx. I loved Daphne. Okay, so I have a thing to say with Daphne, and it's the same thing that I have to say with Delancey. So Daphne, I don't know, I could probably put her higher than that, actually. I loved Daphne. And I will say a part of it was probably that I felt like she was one of the few. I tended to get attached to characters who looked like me or had like similar features to myself because, as you can see, Barbie movies were a pretty big part of my childhood. But I don't have blue eyes. So whenever I saw a character who had, and most of the time I have brown eyes, but whenever you see a brown-eyed character, they always had brown hair. But Delancey and Daphne had brown eyes and blonde hair. So I like felt a little bit like happier about those characters because I thought they had characteristics that I have. And I don't know why that was a big deal to me as a kid. Like, it really doesn't matter that much. But I liked that about them. Delancey can maybe go down here. I wasn't as attached to her, but I really loved Daphne for some reason. And Delancey, I always thought she was like I always thought she was a really cool character. Like, she was mean at first. I love a character who has like, is mean, but then has a turnaround. And you'll see that, like, that happened a couple of times in Barbie movies, and both times I really appreciated it. Roxy, I feel like she was a really underrated character. I feel like she should have come back. She's actually kind of above the other girls for me, if I'm honest. I liked her. She was one of the few characters that, like, I missed her when she, like, wasn't on the show anymore. And that's rare for, like, a kid with a kid's show. I feel like most of the time there were a lot of, like, side characters that I would just kind of forget about by the time they were gone. But with Roxy, I always was like, where'd Roxy go? I thought she was, like, part of the team now. I wanted her to come back, honestly. Next up, we have, I know you can't see his full body. So these two characters are from a book series called The Land of Stories by, what's his name? Something Colfer. Is it Matt Colfer? No, it's Chris Colfer. That's his name. And when I tell you I devoured these books, I actually bought the same books recently when I remember they existed, and I devoured them again. Like, I literally spent entire days reading these books, even now at an older age, and they were just amazing. I don't even know where to put them. Alex and Connor. I honestly, you know what? I have to put them both on the same level, though. I'm just going to put them both in S tier, because those book series the book series they were in, I can't even sort them, like, individually. The book series they were in, they were just fantastic together. Everything was just fantastic. I love those books. Next is Nancy Drew. I read all the Nancy Drew books when I was a kid. I loved Nancy Drew books. I don't know. I don't have a ton to say, but I know I loved I remember devouring all of those. Yeah. Okay, next we have Princess Victoria, otherwise known as Tori, from Barbie Princess and the Pop Star. So I'm just gonna... Kira is also from Barbie Princess and the Pop Star. I gotta put her in S tier. I loved Kira when I was younger. I loved Kira. Kira was like one of my all-time favorite characters. I adored Kira. Tori, I also loved Tori, but I have to put her in A tier. We're about to see a whole lot of Barbie, I gotta say. I just felt more personally like I related to Kira more, or like, I don't know. I was always a little more attached to Kira. I loved her. I loved the purple hair. I loved the pop star thing. That was, when I was a kid, the only thing I ever remember wanting to be growing up was a detective. I wanted to be a detective. But when I was introduced to Kira, and I had always loved, like, music, But it wasn't until Kira that I considered being a singer. Like, I really wanted to be a pop star after her. I remember that specifically. And I loved Purple after her. And she was the reason I started to love Purple. And yeah. She was a real impactful character, for sure. For me personally. The next is Rosella from Barbie Island Princess. I liked her. I don't know that I loved her. I mean, I loved, like, all the classic I hate to, like, divide them up like this, because I loved all the classic Barbie movies, but of the ones I got attached to, I guess Rosella's kind of there. What was her name? It was, like, Amarette, or Amarina, I think. She was great. I don't remember, my problem with the Three Musketeers is I feel like there wasn't, like, enough individuality about these three for me to get attached to them, if that makes sense. Like, honestly, I could probably be confusing one of these for the other. I don't know. They were all great. They were, like, individuals and stuff, but I felt like Corinne was the one that was, like, the most well-developed, maybe, as a character, and maybe that's because she was, like, the main character, she was the Barbie character, or whatever. And I loved Corinne, I did. I remember wanting to be Corinne. I thought she was so cool. Because, again, I had the thing, like, I wanted to be a detective. I wanted to be, like, a fighter, a musketeer. If I was in the medieval age or whatever age Corinne is in, I would want to be a musketeer, too. Like, that's absolutely the kind of thing I would want to do. And I absolutely drew so much inspiration from Corinne, so she has to be up there. And these girls, too. I just feel like I don't remember enough specifically about them to be attached to them enough to put them in a higher ranking, if that makes sense. What did I just do? Did I just move you? Yeah, I hope that makes sense. Next is Clara from Barbie and the Nutcracker. I just gotta put her up here. I might... also, there's a nostalgia factor for her. Like, she's... Barbie and the Nutcracker was the first Barbie movie... Was it the first Barbie movie? Like, the first Barbie on film, wasn't it? And I had it on VHS, and I remember... I loved opening the VHS case because it was one of those plastic ones that kind of like popped open on the sides and you could just feel it pop open. And I'm not gonna lie, I might just have a nostalgia thing for her as well. Genevieve, she goes right up there, man. Oh, you know what? I might need to... We might need to do a little something here. I'm kind of thinking... hang on. I need a double S tier. I think I need another space here. Just looking at these guys, I gotta put you up here. I gotta put you up here. You. Okay. And now... Oh, boy. This is getting tough. You. Oh, you. I have to have you up there. You. Elsa was she was a lot of character development. She created a lot of character development for me personally. I gotta put her up there, man. Okay, I feel like I can also put you. And then I liked Aisha. Okay. I liked you. You can go in the middle more. Yeah. I think I'm liking that a little better. Okay. Erica. Annalise. The Princess and the Pauper has to go straight to the top, man. Which they are the OG Princess and the Pop Star, I know. But I don't know, there's something about Princess and the Pop Star that was really connected with me. I think Annalise and Erica have to go up top, though. I think they're, yeah. So, Merlia! Loved Merlia. Merlia's going up here, for sure. Kylie, I also really liked. So the thing about Kylie was she was yet another character we have who kind of went from like a mean one, a bad, like a quote unquote uh, bad character or whatever, who became good by the end, and I loved that for her. I guess I maybe don't know that she was like an S tier quite, but I really loved that for her. I really liked her character development. I really appreciated that when I was a kid. Blair Willows, aka Princess Sophia, I believe it was. Ooh. Ooh. She might go here about, yeah, because I don't think I can put her above Delancey, because I might have liked Delancey better than Blair, honestly. I just don't remember. There's nothing wrong with Blair. I just don't remember like a ton specifically about her. Like I loved the movie. I thought it was cool because it was like, oh, Princess Charm School. Like you go to it and you become a princess. You learn how to be a princess. And of course that was appealing to me as a kid. But it was more like the movie itself was great, and I don't know that there were any characters that like truly stood out to me, if that makes sense. Like, oh, her fairy. Her fairy was great. How could you not love the fairy? Because, like, dude, imagine if you had your own personal little tiny fairy to fly around with you and help you with absolutely anything and everything. It's a dream come true. And then her little sister, I don't know why her little sister is on here. She's about the same. Rapunzel. Ooh. Okay, I think I had to put her in S tier. Because I don't know that there was enough. Was she an S? Was she a double S tier? I would say I would put, well, it depends on where I put Odette. Because I would say Rapunzel I would put above Odette for me personally. Only because I feel like I learned a lot more from Rapunzel than Odette. Like, I loved Swan Lake. I love the aesthetic of it. The classic Barbie movies were such gorgeous movies, you know? I can't not say that. But there was something to Rapunzel. Like, I just loved the theme. I really appreciated the part of, like, how the ending went where, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, when Gothel gets trapped in the tower instead, it was that, what was it? Rapunzel had told the truth, and that was why she was able to be set free. And there was just something about the morals in that story and whatnot that just came through a lot more. Whereas Swan Lake, I don't remember a ton of like moral of the story kind of thing happening. In fact, that kind of draws me into this lady who was the fairy, the like fairy queen or whatever, the queen of the forest or whatever. Her, I liked her, but I kind of remember towards the end of the movie, in the middle of the movie, I remember being kind of mad at her because she uses her magic to teach Odette how to dance. And then when the bad guy, I forget his name, Ravrock or whatever, attacks, she's like run out of magic. And I remember being as a kid, like, why did you waste your magic teaching her how to dance and like shortening her skirt and all this stuff? Why did you waste your magic on that? You're supposed to be protecting her and the forest. Like, that was kind of a dumb move on your part. I don't know, I'm just going on things I remember of these characters when I was a kid. So please, God, don't throw stones at me. I might be barely remembering some of these. I don't know. I love it. I love the dress. I love the aesthetic of the movie. I just don't feel like there was a lot that I got from it. Whereas Rapunzel, there was like kind of a moral to the story. There was things that I connected with. Nori, I loved Nori. Nori was great. You can't not love Nori. I don't know if she was an S tier. She might have been more of an A tier, but I love Nori. Ivan and, oh, I forget what the girl's name was, but she was the skunk character, and Ivan was the, what was he? A hedgehog? What's the thing that has the little spikes like he did? Those two characters are some of the only characters that I like remember from Swan Lake. because they were funny. They had like that kind of comedic effect, kind of like where'd they go? The Swan Lake characters. They had they were funny. They were memorable characters, and Ivan was a memorable character. I don't know if he was memorable enough to get him up to A tier, but he really made that movie, I think. Him and the girl who was the skunk that I don't remember the name of, but those two as a pair were so funny together. I loved them. Okay, this is the Shell character. The only reason I added this character is because everyone is using the audio online right now from where she's like, "Open my shell," but of course. I just had to put her on her there for purely for that. She goes in A tier. This is Dandelion, I believe, from, oh yeah, Daphne. How did I never add Daphne? I loved Daphne. Dude, why did I leave Daphne behind? Daphne was one of my favorite characters. Okay, Daphne's right up there with Scooby, Shaggy, and yeah. Dandelion. I really don't remember a lot about Dandelion. Like, I remember liking her. She's kind of only at the beginning of the movie, too, isn't she? Is she even in the next Fairytopia movies? I don't know. She's kind of there. I like her. She's kind of just there. I remember her being like a very sunshiny, fun character, but I don't know that I could put her higher than that in terms of like how attached I was to her, you know? Which actually, I'm going to skip over to Fairytopia for a minute, because I'm just going to tell you right now, I put 4 versions of the same character on here for a reason, because we need to talk about this. So, first Fairytopia, Alina, great. Loved your character, loved the development, fantastic. Second movie, Alina becomes a mermaid for a little while, which is gorgeous. Love the mermaid tale. She wants to be a fairy again, great. And then she has these wings, which are even better than her first wings and are so pretty. And then in the third freaking movie, they do this to her. This is what her wings become. This is the biggest glow down in the face of the planet. How do you go from this flowery, feminine, gorgeous, flower fairy, which is what she freaking is, to this just has there's just so much less design to the third one than there is to the second one. And it's such a downgrade. It might even go next to Elmo. That's how much of a downgrade it might be. Okay, it's a little bit higher than that. But that's such a downgrade. After she got these big, gorgeous wings that are all flowery, and she's a flower fairy, I think. And then it goes into this, which is just like stripes. It's just that's it. Just stripes. No little flowers in her little dress. Just stripes. Sure. Yeah. Fine. Sure, Jan. Fine. Freaking fine. And while we're on the subject of flower fairies, let's turn over to butterfly fairies and look at Mariposa. So Mariposa, I actually loved Mariposa. I actually rewatched both the first Mariposa and the second one recently. And you know what? They actually had some really great, morals to the stories and whatnot. Like, Mariposa was all about her originality. What was the thing with the stars? Oh, I can't remember the quote. There's a quote from the movie about the stars. Where she says something about... I can't remember the quote. I'm going to look it up. No, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to Google it. I need to know what this quote was. Barbie, Mariposa, stars. That's a little star all by itself that doesn't fit in with anything else in the sky. It's meaningless. And Mariposa says, no, it doesn't fit in, but that doesn't make it meaningless at all. And the other, evil Mariposa is talking to normal Mariposa. And evil Mariposa says, of course it does. And then normal Mariposa says, no, every star is there for a reason. They don't have to fit in with the other stars to be important. They just have to be themselves. And I don't know. I just think, Mariposa, both movies were pretty inspirational to me. I really appreciate that about them. So I have to travel really far up here to put her in S tier. And the same goes to Princess Catania? Catania, was that her name? Because I actually rewatched the second movie a year or two ago, 2 years ago. And her movie actually had a really important message too. She there was like an evil character who had like wronged the entire kingdom and was like trying to kill everybody. And at the end, the princess, she spares her and says, she has some great quote that I really loved too, and I wanted to write down, and I forget what it was. Well, at the end, come on, there was some quote at the end where she says something like, just because she was evil to us doesn't mean we have to be evil to her, or something like that. She had some, I don't know, there was some like really great, I don't know, I just really loved her character. She was pretty inspirational to me, even now, even in the recent time that I watched the movie. And all that's left is Barbie Magic of Pegasus characters. Oh my god, I can't believe this has been a 40-minute video of me just blabbering on about things that I barely remember about these movies. I love how this tier list has ended up. I wonder how much this says about me. I wonder if someone could do like an in-depth personality reading about me. Annika, okay, Annika, I loved Annika. Annika has kind of Lorelai Gilmore vibes. Like, she had this whole thing about her independence, and which she didn't understand, that her parents were trying to protect her because they lost another daughter. It was like a whole thing, man. For a kid's movie, yeah, some of this stuff gets real deep, but I really loved independent characters when I was a kid. Like, I don't know where I even first learned the word independent, but I remember as a kid, like, I always wanted to be independent when I grew up. Don't know why, don't know where that came from, but I always had that somewhere. Brietta, I really loved Brietta. I don't know why, because she doesn't get a lot of screen time. She didn't really get a lot of, like, even when she was a Pegasus, in case you don't recognize her, she was the Pegasus. She was turned into a horse. I really liked her character. I don't know why. I can't really tell you why. Yeah. These are the 3 princesses from that movie. These were the Cloud Princesses, which I vividly remember for some reason. And they were all really great and really cute. I just remember the one who was like always sleepy, and they would ride on Pegasi? What's the plural of Pegasus? They would ride their Pegasuses to paint the clouds every evening before the sunset. And they would be the ones turning the clouds pink and purple and rosy. And I remember she was like kind of falling asleep. She was always sleepy. I don't know why, but those 3 girls were just really memorable for me. For some reason, I remember them. 89 photos. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this with the other characters that I mentioned throughout that, because I remembered like Girl Meets World was something I watched when I was a kid. H2O Just Add Water was something I watched. I could add those characters. I really just love Kevin McAllister being up here with the other girls, with all the princesses. Well, except for Kiara. Where'd I get that from? Kira. Oh man, I might do a part 2 to this. This was just for, again, please, this was just for fun. This isn't even in terms of like who's the best character, who's my like favorite character. This is kind of just in terms of like this is almost more like ranking my attachment to them throughout my childhood. Kind of like a nostalgia factor for me, if that makes sense. I don't know. God, that is just horrifying. I had to pick the like most terrifying photograph for him. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And if I suddenly unlocked a memory for you guys with any of these characters, yeah, feel free to discuss in the comments or something. Or yeah, I'll be glad if I unlocked a memory for somebody with a character, because that would be cool. These aren't very these are all pretty popular characters, I'd say. I don't think I really found anyone like too obscure here, I think, except for maybe Connor and Alex from The Land of Stories, which honestly, I highly recommend that series. Even to this day, even as an adult, I highly recommend that series. And yeah, this was just for fun. I don't know, it's honestly just something that I thought of like an hour ago, threw together, and have done. So, but yeah, maybe I'll do a little part 2 and add on the other characters, and then we can have like 500 characters on a tier list. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, maybe. Bye. God, I can't believe this went on for 45 minutes.